Hello guys, welcome back in Goku Manhwa. Let's continue.
After such a long voyage, RMC had finally stepped into the Celestial Citadel. Yet the instant he arrived, multitudes closed in on him. Witnessing the gathering, RMC felt unsettled. What was this sudden spectacle? Before him, countless envoys surrounded the square, each proclaiming their domain and allegiance. One cried out, "Hallow Moon Dominion, Caliph line. Arion greets the sovereign heir." Another voice rose from the left, "I hail from the Crystal Thorn Order." Soon after, another announced, "I represent the Titan Sunfire Beastkin." Overwhelmed by so many strangers, RMC's pulse quickened. He offered them all a cautious greeting, then whispered inwardly, "Just how many factions have assembled here? Could it be they've brought an entire legion of warships?" None would have guessed that merely touching an ancient relic would summon fleets bristling with weapons. He then thanked them for showing support for his sanctuary. As he spoke, Arion appeared, bowing with utmost reverence, and said, "Sovereign heir, your humility is unnecessary. You are already considered kin to the Hallow Moon Dominion. Such assistance is trivial." The maiden who accompanied Arion smiled softly and said Lord Sereth is absolutely correct. Furthermore, those twisted Imperial agents who exploit their ranks must face retribution. Worse still, they dared provoke the sovereign heir's ancestral haven. Even if another world had been harmed, we would still have been honor-bound to intervene. Hearing this, RMC allowed a faint smile and said, "If you wish, remain here for a while longer. I sincerely wish to express my gratitude." Arion answered solemnly, "Then we shall impose a little more time. After all, we must confirm the offerings reach you without discrepancy. Only then will our hearts be settled." Surprised, RMC asked of the Celestial Vidi Elixir, "What exactly is that?" The girl beside Sereth explained, "Indeed, this is a collective gift from us all. Soon you shall command a realm-crossing vessel. Your people may serve as the first stewards, aiding in the future governance of distant lands, but their foundation remains fragile. Thus, we secured an abundance of Vidi Elixir. Though not considered legendary, it elevates the latent strength of ordinary mortals to the theoretical limit of Tier 7. Standing near our heir, Liran Yu was struck by astonishment and exclaimed, "What, everyone can reach Tier 7? Arion explained, "Yes, and with my Genesis Tier 12 elixir, it will not be long before Verdant Crystal Star ushers in an era where all beings wield strength like titans." Hearing this, the citizens of Verdant Crystal Star began murmuring with joy. "We can ascend. We can soar through the void like radiant comets." Another voice cried out, "Yes, we are inspired by Sereth." Hearing their excitement, our heir reflected deeply that ordinary mortals could now ascend directly to Tier 7. Was this truly the essence hidden behind the phrase higher dominion? Then with a calm smile, he thought, "But this is indeed wondrous. My lineage can live for hundreds more years. At first, I intended to slowly reform Verdant Crystal Star, but now it has all been achieved at once." Just then, a figure among Sereth's entourage stepped forward and said, "After the sovereign heir gains his vessel in the future, surely you will wish to take your native people along, for such preparations must be arranged. Therefore, I shall grant the sovereign heir 1,000 Pioneer-class cruisers." Hearing this, our heir regarded him in surprise and thought yet another extravagant offering. Though only mid to high-tier vessels, such ships were forever out of reach for common citizens, and he offered 1,000 in one stroke. With this thought, he said aloud, "Many thanks." Then another approached, declaring, "I shall also gift the heir's native star 10 companies of elite Argent Sentinels to protect against cosmic marauders." After that, one more pledged, "I shall send 1,000,000 sets of celestial battle armor." One by one, they proclaimed further gifts to our heir. Listening to this, he grew uneasy. Their enthusiasm was excessive, each party striving to forge ties, which left Sereth somewhat embarrassed. Smiling faintly, he replied, "Your generosity is vast, but let prudence temper it." Still, priceless treasures continued pouring in, resources valued in billions, even trillions, endlessly offered. Laughing softly, RMC said, "You are far too kind." Inwardly, he mused, "Let them contribute. It would be best if every soul on Verdant Crystal Star were armed and empowered, their cultivation raised to the 9th rank of Martial Saint. Thus, even if I am absent, I will rest assured. These debts I can repay 100-fold or even 1,000-fold in the future. Truthfully, I never had enough time to raise Verdant Crystal Star. Now, their aid is immense." At this moment, Tan Rianyu appeared. Beside him stood Lin Rianyu. She approached and said the ancestral bloodline has now been fully restored. Tan Rianyu replied, "It has long been reforged. At last it can be deemed complete." Hearing this, Lin Rianyu said, "Why contend pointlessly with Seraph? To once have been defeated by him is itself an honor. From this day forward, verdant crystal star will rise in full. And all of it is owed to Seraph." After this, the tale drifts a few days later to Nivrith, where upon the endless ocean, we find RMC resting aboard a vessel. At this moment, countless radiant cruisers streak across the heavens, descending above his ship. Watching them, RMC exhales sharply and mutters in frustration. Another wave has arrived yet again. Since Seraph and his retinue departed, travelers have poured in without end. Fortunately, Lin Rianyu and the others handle their reception, or else I would have been utterly worn out. Just then, we glimpse Kylia clad in a flowing garment, stepping toward him with a serene smile. She remarks playfully, "Does this not prove how cherished you have become, Taran?" Seeing her, RMC immediately rises, walks nearer, and chuckles softly while answering, "These bonds of favor remain the same, even among the stars. Always the same." Leaning closer, he speaks with quiet intensity, his gaze burning with devotion before pressing his lips to hers. "Soon I shall dive into the abyssal sea. If strange forces emerge, do not linger for me. You must flee without hesitation." He kisses her with fervor, then holds her tightly within his embrace. Hearing his warning, Kylia trembles, her eyes glistening as she breathes gently, "I have long understood." After this, our heir leaps from the ship into the waves, plunging straight into the deep. As he descends into the shadowed void, he murmurs grimly, "Nothing has shifted. Verdant crystal star is still fated to perish in 8 cycles. Though we can now migrate our people elsewhere, I remain haunted by the force capable of erasing a world entire. The riddle of the system's vision begins here. Back then, during my duel with the Supreme Martial Sovereign, when grievously wounded I fell into the trench, it was there I confronted that nameless deity. Suddenly, vast, dreadful tendrils whip forth, striking toward him. With fury flashing in his eyes, RMC severs them using the aura flowing through his hands and roars, "Begone from my sight, abomination. Dare not hinder me." After his retaliation, he lowers his gaze to his palm. Upon it, a cursed eye emerges, gleaming faintly. Beholding it, he mutters with gravity, "I nearly forgot about this cursed fragment." The corrupted essence is resonating violently, which means the source lies close. With resolve blazing, he drives himself deeper into the trench at unmatched speed. Ahead, he senses turbulent energy surging. Halting, he realizes this is the very place he sought. Suddenly, the eye quivers madly, and from the void, countless tendrils uncoil again. His expression darkens, hardening like stone. Something is awry. The surroundings fall into absolute silence. Yet the corrupted essence writhes as if desperate to abandon his flesh. With a cold grin, he lets out a low laugh. Still, something crucial feels absent. And then his eyes widen with sudden understanding. That is it. The resonance of the abyss. In the past, whenever I descended into these depths, I could always feel that enticing, whispering resonance pulling at my soul. But now, there is nothing, only silence. Suddenly, from the shadows, a colossal and dreadful eye materializes, radiating with a sinister glow. Behind it, a vast silhouette slowly unfolds, and a low, bone-chilling voice resounds. "At last, you dare return before me." Our heir's expression hardens as his body stiffens, breath shuddering. Peering closer, he beholds it. From within, an enormous arm pushes outward. Its size is boundless, eclipsing all around. So, companions, this marks the close of today's tale. What horrors lie beyond this revelation? The truth shall be unveiled in the following chapter. We will meet again in the next chronicle. Until then, remain steadfast and farewell. What do you foresee unfolding next? Share your visions below in the comments. And above all, remember to lend your support by liking and subscribing to the saga.